Be confident, be bold, be authentic, but don't forget to take action. This is Ordinary to Badass, where our stories empower women to step into the spotlight of their own lives and pursue what they're truly passionate about. It's time to step into the arena and become more than just extraordinary. It's time to become a badass with your host, Marie Sonneman.
Welcome to Ordinary to Badass, episode number 98. In this episode, we're going to be talking about what weight should I be? Or what weight should you be? Why does weight play such a big role in our lives? I don't know. I ask that, but it always plays a big role in my life too. So talk about a couple of resources that I've found, some things that are helping me on my health journey, and hopefully these resources or books can help you as well. And yeah, if you like it, if you love this episode, it's a different kind of episode, but I would be so grateful if you left a 5-star rating and review on iTunes. And then of course, took a screenshot and sent it to me on Instagram, like put it in your Instagram stories and tag me at Ordinary to Badass. And if getting onto iTunes really isn't your thing, I would love for you to share it with a friend. If this episode can help anyone, I would love for you to share it. With that, let's get to the episode already. Welcome to Ordinary to Badass. Whether you're ordinary or badass, I'm glad you're here. Today, I want to talk all about weight, health. What weight should I be? What weight should you be? I don't know about you, but my weight and my health has always been a struggle. I'm very up and down, like some might say, like Oprah. My weight, I'll be thin and then I'll be overweight and then I'll be back to thin and then back to overweight. It's just always been something that I haven't been able to get a handle on. And, I turned 40 this year and I'm sick and tired of asking myself, what weight should I be? Well, actually, no, I have the answer to that. The answer is no matter what, 10 pounds less than I am now or 50 pounds less than I am now. Like there's never a point where I am at a weight where I say, okay, this is good. I'll rest here. Or I'll just stay here. Like it's always striving for something better or nitpicking at the little things. Like once I'm at the weight that like the goal weight, then it's something else. Like, oh, my stomach still looks too fat or, I still have stretch marks or something from when I was bigger and the stretch marks don't go away. But no matter what, it's like something that I will always find to pick myself apart over when it comes to weight. Can you relate to that at all? It's like us women, we just have this thing. And yes, not all women struggle with weight. But I believe that a lot of women struggle with weight, whether it's just like a dissatisfaction with what they weigh or what they look like. And it's frustrating. So I have to say, talking about what weight should I be and this whole conversation about weight is a little bit uncomfortable for me, a little bit out of my comfort zone, just because it is something that's so close to my heart. You can hear my dog moving around back there, Bailey. But no, my weight and health is something that's so close to my heart and close to what's going on with me right now, just because I'm towards the heavier end of what I've ever been. And so, yeah, it's hard to talk about. Who wants to talk about, when you feel overweight? But if I found anything or figured anything out in my times, like going up and down with my weight, it's if I'm not happy with who I am right now or how my body is right now, I will never be happy. I will always find something to pick apart about myself or how I look or how my body looks, I will always find something to pick apart about it. So I know that I have to work on it right now, and I have to work on me right now, because if I'm not happy now, I certainly won't be happy later. And so when thinking about like what weight should I be, maybe there's no perfect weight. You have to love yourself right now. Again, I've been all different shapes and sizes. Even when I was at my smallest and running marathons, I felt like I was too fat to be in a swimsuit, and I hated it. So I want to read you like a short excerpt from my upcoming book, Ordinary to Badass Budgeting. I believe that's what it's going to be called. Haven't nailed it down for sure, but it's either going to be Ordinary to Badass Personal Finances or Ordinary to Badass Budgeting. But I said, your thoughts are powerful. So pay attention to the things that you are telling yourself. Every thought that you think isn't true. Combat those thoughts when they arise. Don't automatically accept them as your truth. There are also other ways to examine the lies that you're telling yourself. If you have negative thoughts about your weight and what weight you should be, or your health, or your money, or financial situation, consider writing them down. In a 3-step system that I created that you can use at any time when you get stuck with like you're in a negative thought process or a limited belief. As a reminder, a limiting belief is a belief that you have that's limiting you in some way. So you could say the lie, negative thought, or limiting belief, follow it up by the phrase, that's not true because, and then list 3 reasons why what you said might not be true. There can be 3 possibilities or 3 pieces of evidence that lead you to believe that that thought might not be true. So for example, if you said, I will never be able to lose weight, and I'm changing this because in the book it says money, but I'm just going to switch it a little bit because we're talking about weight today. I will never be able to lose weight. That's not true because, and then you could say, I have lost weight before. I can learn to lose weight. I haven't tried everything. I haven't been intentional. I just listed 4 things, but I'm just listing things that were coming off on the top of my head. But if you can't come up with something, for number 3, you can always say, I have done things before I didn't think I could do, so I know I can do this. Or my beliefs in the past have been limited by my experience. This 3-step process can be used for anything you say to yourself that's a lie, a limiting belief, or simply a belief that you want to test out. If you repeatedly say a limiting belief to yourself, it may be a sign that you should be writing it down. Write down 3 reasons it's not true. Then you could flip the negative thing you said to mean something positive. I will learn to lose weight because I will invest in a coach who's going to help teach me that I don't have to be the perfect weight. I don't have to be the perfect size. And teach me different ways of managing not just my food, but my mindset. Because I think that our mindset is huge in this. I don't know about you, but it's like the things we say to ourselves and the things that we think and how we react, I think that's a huge part of losing weight. So I eat to have control. I eat to end my suffering or to drown out the noise or the misery that I am feeling. So instead of actually feeling those feelings and just letting them be and kind of where in my body is it bothering me, I just like go to food. And typically it's at night. It's not really during the day when I'm at work. Well, okay. Maybe it is. There have been times where I've certainly raided coworkers' offices like chocolate. Give me the chocolate. But typically, it's at night when I'm by myself, and then, you let all the thoughts and all the crap seep in from the day, or the things that you're too busy to sit down and think about at work because you had other stuff going on or other people around. You get home, and then it's like it all settles in, right? And then you're left alone with that feeling, and you're by yourself, or like even with your family, maybe it's not something you want to talk about. So it's hard. it's really hard. So a couple things that I want to talk to you about today, or that I'm learning or have learned. And let me just say, I know nothing about health. I know nothing. Like, I am working, striving to become better. This is something that I'm committed to learning about and fixing once and for all. You know, I've struggled with this for the first 40 years of my life. I don't want to struggle with it for the next 40 years of my life. So I'm committed to making a change. So this is information that I'm finding. By no means am I an expert. It's just things that I'm thinking are interesting or that are helpful for me to start thinking about and learning about when it comes to my health and my weight. You know, in the past, when I said, what weight do I want to be? It was always less. And it was always doing some fad diet, or I've done Weight Watchers like 1,000,000 times. Million is the exact number. And I've hit goal weight and all that stuff, but you know, up and down, but I've done Weight Watchers so many times, I cannot even tell you. But I've done other diets as well, like the Suzanne Somers diet, or just a ton of different diets, and thinking that this is going to be the next best thing. This is going to be what helps me, but it hasn't, or it helps me in the short term, but then I slip back into my old way of thinking. So finally, I mean, I think based on this episode, you can tell that I've been frustrated with my weight. And so this year I did. I'm making a change. I'm making a switch. I'm not putting up with it anymore. And it's not just about my weight. It's just my health. I want to be healthy. That's a huge thing. And I could just tell, like, in different things, like the way my body feels does not feel healthy, right? And like today it's feeling good. I've been eating healthy for like a whole month, guys. But you got to start somewhere, right? But I don't want to sit here and feel like in my ankles, like feel like my ankles feel swollen. And then I can only imagine that that's from the way that I ate during a day, or during that day, or that time. So it's like, I need to start. I like fruits and vegetables, but was I eating them before a month ago? No, not so much. Not so much. But just being more intentional, that's a word. No, being more intentional about what I'm putting into my body, and just figuring out my health. So recently I started health coaching, and I'm super excited about it. Lots of like good information so far. I cannot wait. I'm going through a program called IIN, Institute for Integrative Nutrition. And if you remember, Allie Bullinger, she went to the school as well and had recommended it. And I had thought about hiring a health coach, and that sounded good. But then I just wondered, okay, when is enough enough? Like, why don't I just do this for myself? Why don't I invest in myself? I was having like all this back pain, and then I was wondering if the back pain was related to, you know, my health at all. And I just became determined that, you know what, I need to figure this out. I need to become a health coach. Well, I don't know for sure if I'm going to actually start teaching stuff about health and wellness. I might share tidbits and stuff with you guys on this podcast, but I don't know that it's something that I'm going to be talking about all the time, or like actually coaching on. That's still to be determined. But something that I'm learning is in IIN is that the concept of bio-individuality. Like, everyone is different. Everyone's body is different and responds differently to different foods. And you know what's right for you. You know what feels best for your body when you eat it, or when you don't eat something, right? If your body misses it or needs it. Just like I knew I wasn't treating my body right. My body still needs fruits and vegetables, as much as we would all like to deny it, you know. I knew that was something I should still be eating. So I'm trying to be more focused and more intentional about that. But what I like about that idea about bio-individuality is that there's not a one size fits all for dieting or eating, right? Like, you know, typically what works for you, or what has worked for you in the past, or what makes your body feel the best. So don't beat yourself up if you're not doing the same fad diet that everybody else is doing, or that you eat differently than other people around you. That's okay. Another thing that Ian has talked about is like, stop treating the symptoms and get to the cause. So maybe our symptom is our weight. And then I ask myself, okay, what is the cause of my weight? Overeating. Typically that's the cause of the weight, right? Overeating. What's the cause of overeating? Stress, typically. Okay, what's the cause of the stress? And then you could answer that for you. What's the cause of the stress? Is it relationships? Is it your job? Is it your family? Your health? I don't know. So look at what the cause of the stress is. And then what can you do to minimize that stress? Like, instead of fixing the food all the time, maybe, just maybe, we can fix like the actual source of the problem. So if it's work that's bothering you, is there something you can do to address that stress, or to alleviate it, or to find another job, something that would be healthier for you? But the thought that it's not all just the food. Like, I know we might internally know it's not all about the food, but like, it isn't. There's so much other stuff going on in life that diets just don't address, right? They don't address the source of the problem. And so something that I'm learning in IIN is, things to look at is like your spirituality, your creativity, your finances, career, health, education, the physical activity you do, if your home environment, your relationships, and just your social life and your connection to others. Those are all so important. And maybe if some of those things are out of whack, then it can cause you to overeat. So I thought that was super powerful and helpful, that, dieting or your weight isn't about everything that's on your plate. There's so many other things that contribute to it. Why aren't we paying attention to those things more often, So another thing that it's helped me, and it's probably my favorite book, and I know that I've talked about it on this podcast before, but it's Loving What Is by Byron Katie. This book I will probably read 1,000,000 times and for the rest of my life, right? Because it's just so powerful. And I will tell you, when I first picked up this book, I didn't like it, and I had great resistance to it. And I'm like, this doesn't work. This is not going to work. Except for I had just had so many people tell me how it changed their lives. And so I was just resistant to it, but I kept on only because everybody kept saying how great it was, right? So, and they're close friends, so yeah, I'm going to trust what they say. So I went through it feeling resistance, but it was so powerful. So Byron Katie has a series of 4 questions that you should ask yourself, or that you can ask yourself when you're stressed out about something. You can ask yourself, 1, is it true? 2, can you absolutely know it's true? 3, how do you react? What happens when you believe that thought? 4, who would you be without the thought? So you kind of go through, ask yourself those 4 questions. A lot of times we tell ourselves stuff that we think is true, but we don't know it's true. We just act as if it's a fact based on our own experience. However, what we're thinking might not be true. And so this false belief can send us down a rabbit hole. Or maybe it's not a false belief, but thinking a certain way can, send you down a rabbit hole and upset you. But maybe that thought isn't actually doing you any favors. Maybe it's not serving you. So I know where it helped me is when I have these thoughts like this is how life is supposed to be, and then life is not that way. So like I'm supposed to be thin, but I'm not thin, so I can sit there and fight that and be like, what weight should I be? Is this the weight I should be? How do I know that I'm really supposed to be that weight? Is that true? Can I absolutely know it's true? No, I can't know that it's true that I should be, 125 pounds. What happens when I believe that thought that I have to be 125 pounds? Well, then I get stressed out because I'm not that weight and it feels so impossible, right? Who would I be without that thought? I don't know. I'd just be me, or just be where I am today. And I think that's the biggest thing is, how do you know that something's true? Because it is how it is. Like, that's what I got from the book. You can't change life. You can't change certain situations. And so it is that way because that's how it's supposed to be. There's no other way to change it. So trying to change our reality from how it is today, that can be intimidating or frustrating because you can't control all of the outside factors. But what if you just accept what is? And now I'm not trying to say you have to accept your weight and you can't ever change. I'm just saying accept where you're at today and then move from there to go towards the direction that you want to go towards. So definitely I would recommend checking out Loving What Is by Byron Katie. Such a great book. I loved what she had to say, and I'm sure I don't even do it justice explaining it. So I would just say to check that out. Okay, another book, which is changing my life, and I'm not even finished with it yet, but it's like one of those books where I want to highlight the heck out of the whole thing because it's so stinking good. So the name of the book is Women, Food, and God, and this book is written by Janine Roth. Love it. So good. Let me read you a little quote that I wrote down that I thought was amazing. Diets are based on the unspoken fear that you are a madwoman, a food terrorist, a lunatic. Even you will destroy all that you love, and so you need to be stopped. The promise is not only that you'll have a different body. It is in that having a different body, you will have a different life. If you hate yourself enough, you will love yourself. If you torture yourself enough, you will become a peaceful, relaxed human being. So that's on page 77 of Women, Food, and God. And it's like, what are we thinking? Why do we think by all this self-loathing that it's going to get us to a better place, that it's going to make us healthier, make us happier? When has just shaming yourself ever helped you? When? I don't know. I mean, shaming myself has never made me feel better. But why is it that we think that, like, if I torture myself and get to this weight, then I'm going to be good to go and all of my problems will go away? And I mean, heck, no wonder why diets are so hard. Because we start them hating ourselves and shaming ourselves to become thinner, to be somebody that we're not right now. How come we can't just accept ourselves as we are right now? Now, I'm saying that, like, asking that as a question. I'm not saying that I am fully there yet. Like, I'm not perfect. I'm not 100%, like, I'm not always accepting where I am right now, right? Clearly, I'm trying to lose weight. I'm trying to become healthier. Again, I'm on this journey too, not preaching to you. I'm just kind of thinking things as they're coming to my head. But I just think it's very interesting, the thoughts that we think to try to become thinner. And of course it wouldn't work, right? So I don't know the answers. I don't know what weight you should be. I don't know what weight I should be. I don't know how to get there. But it is seeming or becoming more clear to me that it's not all about the food on your plate. There are so many external factors that can help you become healthier. That's the thing. Become healthier. It's not even about being a certain weight, but there's so many other things going on in life, like our relationships or your job or your spirituality or your religion. So many other things going on. And if those things are out of whack and we're not addressing them, then maybe that's coming out on our plate. Maybe that's what's causing us to overeat, right? So here's the thing that I want you to know is I fail, and I fail hard all the time. And that's what I want for you too. I want you to fail. Some of my biggest failures have been the very thing that has made me so much stronger. The weight struggle that I've had for most of my life is obviously trying to teach me something. It's a lesson that I haven't been willing to learn yet. Even if I learned it in micro moments or for a moment of my life or time in my life, didn't let it stick, right? Whatever helped me lose weight, I never let it stick to be long term. And that's what I'm committed to doing right now. So instead of giving up on the things that you were failing at, what if you dug into it instead? How could that change your life? Instead of viewing it as a failure, you're viewing it as a lesson that life's trying to teach you or something you can dig into and really learn. I used to shame myself. I used to call myself stupid, call myself an idiot, just tell myself how dumb I was whenever I failed at anything, whenever. And then I would never pursue it past that. I mean, again, when you're beating yourself up, why would you want to? That's not encouraging when you're shaming yourself. So why would you want to proceed to do better, to try to change it? So now, instead of, I embrace the failure, I embrace the struggle. Yes, I'm human. There's times where I get down on myself. Yes. But when I really am struggling with something hardcore, hopefully it comes to a point where I'm going to try to dig into it a bit more. That's what I did with my finances. I paid off $106,000 in just under 2 years. I was failing big time. At that time, I knew nothing about saving money or paying off debt. But the pain got so much that I wasn't willing to deal with it anymore. I decided to invest in learning everything that I possibly could about money. That allowed me to pay off the debt, to become a financial coach, and now I have a course about money, Badass Money School. Also, I just finished my edits for my upcoming book, Ordinary to Badass Finances or Ordinary to Badass Budgeting. Never would I ever would have thought that I would become an author about finances. Insane. Blows my mind. Yes, I've always dreamed about being an author, but not particularly about finances. But we go through things for a reason, right? So what if I had just given up? What if I had just filed bankruptcy because I had $106,000 in debt and that wasn't including my mortgage? Now, I'm not shaming you if you have filed bankruptcy. You don't know what you don't know. But you can dig into it. You can learn. Whatever you're struggling with, you can learn. So now I'm going to ask you, what are you tired of struggling with? Then create a plan of action. Create something that you're going to do so that you can get over that struggle. Maybe you read books about that certain topic or that subject. Or you listen to a podcast. What podcast can you listen to? Do a little bit of research. That's it. Today, just do a little bit of research. Whatever it is that you're struggling with, I want you to figure out how you can get more knowledge about that topic. That's it. Just do 10 minutes of research about what books are about that topic, and then look on Amazon. Look at the comments about it, the good and the bad. Look up podcasts that you can listen to. Maybe you invest in a course or hire a coach. Do something. But don't let your struggles sink you. The struggles are the very thing that could be the awesome thing about your story, the thing that ends up lighting you up because you struggled so hard. And I don't care if you decide not to teach it later. That's up to you. But that helps you build confidence in yourself. Like when I paid off that $106,000 in debt, I got a little more confident in myself because I now believed that I could do things that were freaking hard. And that's what I want for you. I want us to stop asking, what weight should I be? Or what anything should I be? Be what you want to be. You don't have to fit into somebody else's ideal or idea of perfect. Just be you. All right. This was a different kind of episode, but it's just something that I'm super passionate about, and I really want to dig into learning about it. Let me know if this resonated with you at all. I would love for you to take a screenshot and put it on your Instagram stories. And then tell me what your thoughts are. Tell me what you learned. Tell me if you would like to hear any more of this, any of the stuff that I'm learning about on my health journey. And I will tell you, even after I said take a screenshot and put this on Instagram stories, I've told you that a million times. But I felt a little bit terrified because this is still personal, right? I'm talking about my health and my weight, and all of that can be mortifying. But it's what I'm going through. And I don't think that I'm alone in my health journey or my weight journey. And to me, it's important, to share some of the stuff that I'm struggling with as I'm struggling with. If you've done something that has helped you, become healthy, I would love to hear about that as well. I would love to hear what you're learning or what your journey has been like. So definitely take a screenshot on Instagram and send it to me at Ordinary to Badass and let me know your takeaways. All right. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, own it and get after it.
Now that you've listened to this episode of Ordinary to Badass, we want to hear from you. Go to our website, ordinarytobadass.com/podcast, and submit your own experience on how you took your life from ordinary to badass and get the chance to be on a future spotlight episode of the show. That's ordinarytobadass.com/podcast. While you're waiting for the next episode of the show, wipe off the sweat, dust off the dirt, and get back in the arena.